Welcome everyone to HueFin. Today is December the 28th, 2019, where we trade different, and as well we are your trusted source of news according to the price chart. We're going to give you all the update on Ethereum paired against the USD. It's been about 2 weeks since we did our last video on Ethereum. You can clearly see how the market has traded from that particular video. Now, before I get started in that, definitely also want to remind each and every one of you, if you guys appreciate our content, the simplicity in which we are giving you our price forecast, and definitely hit that subscribe button. Join us on our other social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and then we have a website at HueFinancial.com as well if you want to stay in tune with some of the things that we're noticing in the cryptocurrency space alongside with Ethereum. So now let us talk about what occurred here when we did our last update in the market for Ethereum on the 12th of December. We actually played that forecast on the 4-hour chart, so I'm going to switch it over to the 4-hour chart real quick. And actually we had a TP price at $148, and the market came up there on this particular 4-hour bar towards $147.17. So we was off slightly on the market and Ethereum hitting that TP price from our analysis, but overall that market in Ethereum was real weak, and you can tell how the market in Ethereum on these particular 4-hour bars, it was acting as resistance. So that's why this particular market in Ethereum continued to show weakness and movement to the downside. So that's why we play the market to hold support right here around $144, and it broke that numerous times on these following 4-hour price bars right here. Okay, now we said that we would have been okay with the market in Ethereum holding $140 for support, and it did on this particular 4-hour bar right here, and we tried to move higher once again and it still fell. So the overall gist into the market in Ethereum was nothing but weakness when we were anticipating the market move higher in price. So we would have gotten out on this particular forecast right here on this 4-hour bar on the close, which would have been about 9.16% loss in the market in that particular trade forecast. So now, being transparent and forthwith with each and every one of you, would have definitely lost out on that one. So let's go ahead and get rid of it, and let's talk about what we're noticing into the market in Ethereum now. And I want to start out on the weekly price chart in Ethereum, and as you can tell, we don't have too far to go in the market in Ethereum before we find and start testing almost all-time lows, which is around $100 and $80 in the long term. We're not far. Now the true resistance area in the long term is still at $140, so that hasn't changed. The monthly price chart in Ethereum again still gives us that same depiction that weakness is here, but I can tell you that the market is trying to hold $102 as support, or maybe even $100. Now the daily time frame, again, we're seeing some instances to where the market is trying to push this particular cryptocurrency higher in price, but we are still firmly entrenched in weakness. Okay, that doesn't mean that we cannot play the opportunity in Ethereum to move higher, but it just simply means that that long-term purview in Ethereum hasn't changed from the market movement to the downside. Okay, so overall, what we're getting into the market right now in Ethereum is looking to see some higher prices, but I have to condition what I just said. I don't want you to think that we're looking for Ethereum to do a massive movement to the upside. Take a look at Ethereum on the 4-hour chart. Definitely we're seeing some indications of strength over the last couple of 4-hour bars. The market has tried to push this particular currency price down to the downside, but it wasn't successful. This is the only thing that is in its way of moving higher. $130. Tell you that right now. So we're going to go ahead and play the market in Ethereum on the hourly time frame, the 3-hour chart. With the expectation of it trying to move higher. Now there's still that chance that that horizontal line that we just drawn, that it is still able to hold price lower from the $130 price, or where the market won't move higher in price. Okay, so I would say there's probably about 25% chance that that can play out that way. TP for us is going to be at 131.39. And that's only under the presumption that weakness comes in at that particular price. But all in all, I'm still vying for this market in Ethereum to continue to see some higher prices, especially if we can break above $130. Okay, so that is it. We're going to play this on the 3-hour chart with the TP at 131.39. But if we don't get weakness at that particular price and we break up above $130, expectation will be for Ethereum to move a lot higher. Questions, comments, let us know. Make sure you always maintain your profitability, and I'll see you all on the next one.